My name is Kory, PGA professional, and I'm here to coach you how to golf. Better, ideally. Better golf. We want you playing better golf all the time. If we can. Wouldn't that be nice, huh? That's all right. Go, ball, go. Yes. Nice moil draw. Land on the line. Oh. Shoot, I thought I was going to come out landing on the line. Darn. You get the point. So I decided I was going to make a barrage of videos, a series of videos where I just teach you what I know, because there's too much misinformation out there. One day I got peeved, so here I am. Don't worry how old I am or how young I am. I know disproportionately more for someone my age. So let's talk about the nature of golf improvement. You could say, oh, your handicap will come down more if you have a higher handicap, by more strokes. It's easier to knock off some strokes from your handicap if you have a higher one than a lower one, kind of like losing weight. The more you have to lose, the faster you'll lose weight. And the closer you get to, more elite belly circumference or body fat percentage, the harder it is to take it off. That's true. And in golf, that seems to be the case as well. I kind of wish it wasn't, though. But of course, you wish it wasn't, too. Wish it wasn't? No. Not an English teacher. So, don't mind this setup here. This is just my home setup. One day I'll have a curtain that actually fits the whole thing. I did this so that I could have a practice space, so that I could do what I do. And I teach students elsewhere. And it's nice and cold. It's like 33 degrees or something. 32. What? That has to be wrong. The thermometer says it's 20, and I don't think that's right. It's a mercury thermometer. It can't be broken. Anyway, let's start talking golf. Yeah. One of the biggest things I like to talk about is how the toes are in the stance. This is going to be a little bit of a controversial debut, but I don't really care much. I care more about teaching you stuff. So, whenever you're doing this stuff, I recommend that, excuse me, ball, GoPro, take a little observation here, okay? A lot of people might have been taught, depending on the age that you were when you were being taught, that your toes go straight. Toes are straight, and depending on how old school you are, they could be fanned out as well. That could be something. Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? From here to there. And of course the stance would be wider, but about shoulder width is what they say. It's technically just a little bit more than shoulder width. Just a tinge more, or a tinge less in some cases where you have gargantuan shoulders. Really, you need a base that is wide enough for balance stability, but also narrow enough to allow hip rotation. Which means if you ever asked a question on this channel, is it about hip slide or turn? For God's sake, please, for your sake, let's just focus on turn, okay? It's not an exclusive slide, okay? And don't give me those comments of, well, slide's part of it. You don't got no turn, you ain't got no swing, okay? Thank you very much. Because you have to get to here eventually. What do you think? I'm going to be landlocked here? No, you got to get that turning. Okay, so we covered that. Yes, I like to do a little bit of an open foot thing, and I've been experimenting. I've been changing. There's not really a lot of research or data on this, and there should be. I like to have my front foot fanned out just a little bit more than my back foot. But if anything else, they should be equal, not. But I have been closing this foot just a tinge. There's not a lot of, and in the golf world, we don't do research. We approximate and estimate and theorize, and we stop right there. Not here. We only like to listen to the firmest of words from biomechanics. There's no reason to make stuff up and hope that it works. Because we're not amateurs. And I don't want anybody talking about my distance. I don't hit the farthest, but I definitely don't hit the shortest either. See, it's not about how far you hit the ball. It's about how low you score. Checkmate. It's not about how far you hit the ball. It's definitely not about how hard you hit the ball either. You might hear a thud. That's fine. There's going to be a thud. Whoop, yep. Okay. Oh, that was not good. That was not good. Oh, that was not good. Yes, well, looks like Coach has some things to work on. That's what happens when you get too busy teaching. How about a cut shot? Let's do a cut shot. A gentle cut. I might like that. Cut! Ah, barely. How do I shape shots? We'll get there. We'll get there. So going back to the stance, the reason that you would have any of your feet flared is because you want to allow hip rotation. We've already mentioned that, didn't we? Hip rotation. So it gives them a little bit of relief. It gives them a little bit more access. You might even be able to pick up a yard or two just from that. Who doesn't want more yards? You don't even have to try any harder and you get more yards. You're going to come to find out a lot of the stuff on the channel is about optimization and efficiency. Swing efficiency. That's really how you build a golf swing anyways. Stance, really the address, is, I'd say, about 80% of the golf swing. You can do whatever else you want as soon as you start swinging, but usually you are either benefiting from or a victim of your golf stance, which is why it's so important to get that down. Okay, and so many people are used to these misconceptions like you gotta bend your knees, you gotta bend your knees. And then you get these people who bend their knees and they're like this over the ball. They usually have too wide a stance when they do that, but then if they don't, oh, it's still a nightmare. I can't even do this. What? Look, the heel, I'm sitting on the heel of my club like that. We don't want this. This is, I don't even want to try this. I mean, this is nuts. We're not gonna do that. So you have to stand up a little bit. Just a little bit. My knees are bent, all right, but only slightly. They're only bent so that they are forward of my heels. That's really the only requirement. If you're like, this is forward of my heels, I'm sorry, but they shouldn't be forward of your toes. And that's not optional. This is, the foot thing is, the knee thing is not. I promise you, you will be on a much better track by correcting that with your knees. So back to the feet. I digress. You remember Ben Hogan? This guy? We're not doing that either. Because anything that you undo in the golf swing, you have to put back together. You're going to hear me say that a lot. Anything you undo in the golf swing, you're going to have to put back together. So you don't lift this heel because you're undoing it. You have to put it back together before impact. And that's one more thing we don't want to have to do. Let's cut out all the garbage and get down to the most streamlined thing that we can get. You want to have as much access to hip rotation as possible. In the way that we use it in the golf swing, it is not at all a natural move. So most of us who don't have sedentary lifestyles already don't have enough of this move where we can isolate our hips and turn them. And the trick is to do that without your knees bending. See, people do this and they go, I turned my hips, right? No, you didn't. Look at this. This knee is flat or almost flat. We can't. What the heck is that? What the heck is that? That is nasty. Something already got in my pants. In order to prove that you have hip rotation, you have to be able to do it without your knees changing on this axis. Sorry, we're getting mathematical here. But anyways, this allows you to have a smoother swing. It allows you to have a little bit more to load into the ball, more power. You can even get more. Just. We don't need to go into the factors. You get more out of everything. It's okay. Be sure to experiment with this gently. What I mean is, kick this foot out a tinge more, maybe his brother, a bit more, maybe his brother, and see how that feels. You might even need to narrow your stance a touch. Why? Well, because now you're not rocking on your feet straight back and forth. That whole dynamic of where the weight should be in your foot, that changes slightly now that your feet are not directly pointed towards the ball. Now they're pointed on a different line. You might feel like, you have to put the weight more in the arch of your foot, not on the balls of your feet, which is fine. You don't want to have too much weight on the balls of your feet. Watch this. I'm going to put all the weight on my heels with my feet straight. Okay? I couldn't even... I saved that. I can't even let myself do it wrong. Come on, Kory, you can do it. You can do it wrong. You can do it wrong. Don't try and save it. I was like, yeah. That should tell you what's about to happen. Jeez Louise, that's screaming. Yeah, that's what. But now, I'm gonna put all the weight on my toes. Ready? All the weight on my toes. Like my heels are actually just off the ground. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I tried to save that too, but not enough. Again. Oh no, I did again. Oh no, I didn't. That is the world's biggest bunker. Look at that thing. It's gargantuan. Yeah, that's what that is. Yeah, there it is. That's what would happen when you put too much weight on your toes and you let your swing go wild. So you need to have a balance between your weight being on your heels and your toes, okay? And that goes with regardless of whether you have your feet going straight at the ball line or at a little bit of an angle. Be sure to bring them in, because if you don't, you might have to put your weight on your heels, because that's more centered than any other part of your foot. So yeah, this is a haphazard little golf tip from Kory Brayman. Flare your feet. Be good to yourself. Be good to your hips. And get the power. Get the power. All right, I'll see y'all later. Next one.